You're training until your eyes bulge and your heart feels like a frantic bird in a cage. So why does the mirror still reflect the same soggy, uninspired version of yourself? Why are you still stuck in the sentient avocado phase? I see it every day in the biological theater of the gym. There are two types of people. First, there is the 6-day grinder, the guy who treats the iron like a second job. He posts daily selfies with captions like, "No days off," and "Embrace the grind." He's exhausted, he's inflamed, and honestly, he looks exactly the same as he did last Christmas. Then, there's the other guy, the efficient slacker. He shows up 3 times a week, performs exactly 5 moves, spends most of his time wandering around the water fountain, looking like a bored janitor. And yet, every month he looks leaner, harder, and more like a carved statue. What's the difference? The first guy is performing for an audience. The second guy, the yellow archetype, understands the molecular math. As a self-diagnosed radioactive pickle myself, I didn't have the willpower to grind for 6 days. I wanted the shortest, laziest, most scientifically cheat-coded path to muscle. Today we decode the lazy muscle method. How to do the absolute least and get the absolute most. The 6-day grinder thinks more is better. Science says he's just paying a fatigue tax. Muscle protein synthesis, the actual building of the wall, peaks and then levels off. Research consistently shows that training a muscle group 2 to 3 times per week is the physiological sweet spot. Total weekly volume is the king, not how many days you haunt the locker room. 12 sets is 12 sets. Whether you do them across 3 days or 6, your cells don't know the difference. When you train every day, you never truly recover. You're just stacking systemic fatigue on top of muscle inflammation. The yellow path is about training with a focused intensity 3 times a week and then staying away long enough for the mitochondria to actually do their jobs. Most people think this is lazy. I call it biological discipline. It takes more willpower to stay home and grow than it does to go to the gym and perform for the mirror. If your workout plan has 15 variations of a bicep curl, you aren't being thorough. You're using variety to hide a lack of real effort. You only need 5 moves to achieve total body reconstruction. First, pull-ups. They hit the back, biceps, and core. Second, dips, a nuclear strike for the chest, triceps, and shoulders. Third, squats, the ultimate hormone booster for your entire lower half. Fourth, push-ups for horizontal power. And fifth, rows for horizontal stability. These compound movements are the personification of Red's force. They bomb multiple muscle groups at once, forcing the body to adapt as a single unit. Studies show that a program of pure compound moves yields almost identical muscle growth to one bloated with fancy isolation exercises. Listen to the red cues. On the pull-up, don't just think up. Imagine pulling your elbows down and back, pinning your shoulder blades together. On the push-up, keep your arms at a 45-degree angle. Don't flare them out like a panicked chicken. Master these 5, and you master your own biology. This is where you look the most like a bum. The guy next to you is gasping for air, dripping sweat, and timing his 30-second rests with a frantic stopwatch. Meanwhile, you're slowly strolling around for 3 to 5 minutes between sets. He thinks he's being high intensity. Science says he's just sabotaging his mechanical tension. Longer rest periods allow for full ATP recovery, meaning you can lift heavier weights for more reps in the following set. More weight plus more reps equals more growth. If you compress your rest to feel the burn, you're just getting tired, not getting big. You're trading muscle for a cardio workout you didn't ask for. Let your muscles recharge their batteries. Look like a slacker. Grow like a god. The grinder does 30 sets for back because he's addicted to the volume. He's effectively overdosing on effort. Science suggests that 10 to 20 high-quality sets per muscle group per week is the limit of effective return. Anything beyond that is junk volume. You want to hit the muscle with a red intensity, aiming for a 5 to 15 rep range, and stopping when you feel like you could maybe do 1 or 2 more. This is called leaving reps in reserve. Don't train to absolute soul-crushing failure every single time. If you leave the gym feeling like your toes are made of cotton and your brain is a puddle, you've gone too far. You want the effective dose, not a lethal one. The grinder does HIIT until he's blue in the face, spiking his stress hormones and making himself hungry enough to eat a small horse. The lazy way? Just walk, Northeast Tay. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is the most underrated tool in the radioactive pickle's arsenal. Walking doesn't spike cortisol, it doesn't drain your willpower, and it doesn't make you crave a gallon of pasta afterward. A brisk walk where you can talk but not sing is the yellow window for fat burning. It's the only cardio you can do every single day without a recovery tax. It's the difference between being a burned-out green and an energized yellow. Finally, consider the most neglected supplement in the world, your pillow. Muscle isn't built in the gym, it's built while you're unconscious. If you're scrolling through TikTok at 2:00 a.m., your body is in damage mode. Your testosterone dives, your cortisol spikes, and your growth hormone secretion, which happens almost exclusively during deep sleep, is cut in half. The most disciplined, lazy thing you can do is get 8 hours of sleep. It is more effective than any protein powder or pre-workout. It is the phase where you transition from a tired green to a vibrant, functioning machine. Plan A. Force yourself into a 6-day-a-week hell. Eat things you hate, do HIIT until you vomit, and burn out in 3 months. Plan B. Train 3 days a week, rest like a king, walk every day, and stop yourself from adding just one more set, even when your ego is screaming at you to do more. Most people choose Plan A because it looks like effort. But Plan B requires the true discipline of the yellow mind. It requires you to ignore the judgment of others who think you aren't doing enough. It requires you to trust the science over the sweat. Which one takes more self-control? Tell me in the comments. If you're ready to stop being a sentient avocado and start being an efficient machine, hit that subscribe button. Don't just stay green. Start glowing.